Hi Legion, John Hitler, co-founder of Evoking Genius and co-creator of the Genius Discovery Process, with another edition of Pure Genius. Hey, you want to live a great life? What's a great life include? How about significance, like in the daily work you do? Great relationships? I would say yes. How about joy or pursuit of joy? Absolutely. Would your life have to be meaningful in some way, or would you have to make some sort of contribution? Again, in order to have a great life, I would think all of these things would be present. Well, let's face it, living a great life is a tall order, and it's simpler than you think. Why? Because living a great life boils down to simple, profound choices. And we make them every day, either objectively and by design, or by default and making no choice at all, and we get what's left over. Well, here's what we promised to do today. We're going to ask 3 simple, profound questions, and the answers to each of the 3 can help you design what I'll call a great life. Want to play? It'll be fun. Challenging, but fun. All right, well, here's the truth. We're going to ask 3 questions. We're going to ask them in a specific order on purpose. Really, it's one, like a top 1 question, and then it's 2 additional. Your answer to top 1 affects so much the answer to your second and third that we have to answer them in a specific order. Fair enough? All right, well, let's spin the big wheel. So, first question, and I'll call it the top 1, and it's a choice. And that is, will I live a life based on abundance or scarcity in my mindset? Well, of course I'll live abundance. Yeah, I'll choose abundance. Why not? Why would I not choose abundance? Well, it's a great question. Here's the trick. We know statistically, we absolutely know it scientifically and statistically, that only 1 in 7 people roaming the planet has chosen a life filled with abundance. And the reason is it's a choice. So many people are saying, well, if I had abundance, I would, yeah, of course I'd embrace it, but I don't have any abundance. That's a scarcity mindset, and they haven't made a choice for abundance. We know 1 in 7. So call it roughly 7 billion people on the planet. 1 billion are living a life of abundance, and 6 billion are living a life of scarcity. And it's a mindset and a choice. Be really clear about that. Here's what we know. Those who choose abundance have a completely different life experience than those who choose scarcity or don't choose at all. And no choice equals a life of scarcity. And when I say scarcity, I don't mean poverty. I mean a less than attitude. Like I don't have enough friends, or I don't have enough hobbies, or I don't have enough energy, or I don't have enough health, or I don't have enough fill in the blank. That's a life of scarcity. And it's essentially fear-based. I'm afraid of what I might lose versus what I might gain by trying. It's a scarcity mindset, as opposed to abundance. So here's how you know. You want to test whether you have already chosen a scarcity or an abundant mindset? Here's the simple test. Are you waiting for abundance to show up? It's a trick question. The truth is, you could be living an abundant or a scarcity mindset with the answer to that. If your answer is, oh my gosh, I'm grateful for what shows up every day, and always there's an abundance of fill in the blank. That's an abundant mindset. You are waiting for abundance to show up, and guess what? It shows up consistently and in surprising ways. And you get the grace and the pleasure and the blessings associated with living an abundant mindset. Now, if you're waiting for abundance to show up before you have proof that you should choose it, then you're in a scarcity mindset. We hear this from people all the time. They say, well, I don't have that, there's not that much abundance around. I don't really like my job, and I'm kind of overweight. You've chosen a scarcity mindset. or you've not chosen at all and you end up with a scarcity mindset. We're not judging, actually we are judging, but we're not judging to be mean-spirited, we're noticing what's present. So the minute you choose an abundant mindset, abundance starts to show up. It's that simple. I'll take an example with people. So people go, well, what do you mean, abundance with people? Think about it this way. You go to social events. You go to a barbecue, or you go to your kids' after Little League barbecue or playground time, or you go to a social event or a charity event. There's people everywhere. And what's the normal way we go about this? We go in and we say, oh gosh, there's all these people I don't know, and it's a little intimidating socially, if you're like me. And the way it normally works is, I go and meet you. So I stick my hand out and say, hi, I'm John. And the way it normally works is, your job is to impress me or give me something to like about you, so that I like you. Isn't that the way it works? And I'm supposed to do the same thing. We're supposed to see, it's kind of this little dance we do about, do I like you and do you like me? And afterwards you come home and you kind of compare notes. You say, did you talk to that guy with the pink shirt? He was kind of, I don't know, I didn't really like him because this, that, and the other thing. Or I did like him, or I didn't like him, but I liked his wife. Whatever the conversation is. And it's about other people having to prove to us that they are worthy of us liking them. That's the way the world normally works. What if the way it worked were, it were my job to find something to like about you? Like I was required to do that. Like I granted you the fact that you were eminently likable, and then all I had to do was figure out what it was that I liked about you. What would it have me be? It would have me show up as curious. Because as long as I know that there's something to like about you, my job is to find out. Now maybe it's our love of baseball, or we're both foodies, or we both like fitness, or our kids go to the same school, or our kids go to different schools in the same conference at college and they compete against you. It could be almost anything, because it's my responsibility to like you. I have an abundance of likability for others, and it's my job just to find it. Wouldn't the world be a better place if you granted me the fact that I was eminently likable, and your job was to find out what it is that was likable, and I did the same for you. I said, I've never met this person, but I'm absolutely certain that they are likable, and I'm going to find out just what that is. And guess what? You always find something to like about people when you take that abundant mindset. And that's an abundant mindset with people. Because people think of abundance as things. Material things, or money, or wealth. Sometimes health, sometimes spirituality. But it can be, take it to anything. Especially people in relationships. It works really, really well. Well, that's our number one question. Because once you've made that decision, or defaulted and made no decision at all, it colors the rest of your life and our next two questions. What's your choice? What's your answer to, am I choosing an abundance or scarcity mindset for my life? Choose wisely. All right, second question. Here's the second question, and it's affected by the answer to your first question. That's why we ask them in this order. Second question, does my life's work fit my calling and purpose? Or your why? A good friend of mine, Simon Sinek, probably knows Simon, best-selling author, Start With Why, and Leaders Eat Last. Simon claims that you've got to start every decision, every company, every family with your purpose, or as he calls it, your why. Because once you know why you're doing something, everything else makes a lot more sense. Oh, that's pretty wise. Pretty darn wise. We call that your purpose. Simon would call it your why. Well, let's be really clear about this. Your calling is not your profession. You can take your calling and your life's purpose into any career, job, or profession you want. It doesn't work the opposite. You can't take any career, purpose, or job into your calling and try to fit it, but you can always take your calling and your purpose into what you do. So I'll ask you, what's the absolute best way to be a teacher? Or a doctor? Or a carpenter? Or a truck driver? or an attorney? The answer is there is no one best way. There's one best way for you, and that is to run the practice of law, or the building of houses, or the nurturing of children, or the being a friend. Run that through your calling. When you do, you'll be the absolute happiest and most successful attorney or framer or truck driver or teacher you can be, because it's not work anymore. It's your calling. Now you're going to get paid for it. You're going to make more money pursuing your calling than you would be filling a role. That's the funny part about it. And if what you do on a daily basis feeds your sense of why you're roaming the planet, literally your life's purpose, every day feels like you're making a contribution to a better world. Imagine if you woke up tomorrow and said, I'm not going to work today. I'm not going to teach a bunch of snotty-nosed sophomores in high school who give me lip. I'm going to change the world. Oh, life looks a little different when you do that. That's why it's the second most important one. Got it? So, how do you find that? If you don't know what it is, or you don't even know whether you know, then that's a no, you don't know it. We call it a genius. Simply put, your genius is a singular gift of talent granted to you and you alone. It's part of your DNA. Just like your hair color or your height or your ethnicity is part of your DNA, so is your talent. You have one specific talent which sums up your calling, and then your purpose or your why is part of that. Combine the two, the calling and the life's purpose, and you have what we call your genius. Very powerful, very simple. If you don't know what it is, comment below and we'll help you find it. It takes 90 minutes, it's fun, and it'll change your life. Great, so we've got our top one. Am I leading a scarcity or abundance mindset? Wow, that was a tough one. And then, am I pursuing my calling and my purpose in my life's work? Wow, that's a tough one too. They're simple questions, aren't they? Very profound. Third question. Ta-da! Who is my choice for my life partner? Well, now shouldn't that be the first one, since they can happy wife, happy life, all that stuff. Yeah, well, first of all, I'm going to use the word life partner because I'm going to include homosexual, heterosexual, people who have long-term relationships but don't get married, the legal institution. I don't care. I'm calling it a life partner and including all derivations of that. Got it? Good. Okay. So why do we do this one last? Of the three, it's not last in the whole hierarchy of questions you could ask yourself, but if we're only going to ask three, why did this one get the third spot? Well, consider it. If you haven't made up your choice whether you're going to live an abundant or a scarce lifestyle, it will dramatically affect your choice of a life partner. If you've chosen abundance, you'll have a difficult time being around a life partner a long time who has specifically chosen a scarcity lifestyle. That's why you have to know, am I abundant or scarce? Or am I leading an abundance or scarcity mindset? It'll affect your choice in a life partner. Because the truth is, if you're an abundant thinker or you've chosen an abundant mindset, your life partnership will show up completely differently than if you've chosen a scarcity mindset. Now, is it better? In some cases, yes. Is it worse? In some cases, yes. It doesn't matter which you choose, scarcity or abundance, it will affect the quality and the attributes associated with your life partnership. That's why you have to do these in order. Well, if you've chosen an abundance mindset, let's go through it. Okay, I've chosen an abundance mindset. I'm going to pursue my calling and my life's purpose, and I'm going to make an appropriate partner choice for my life partner associated with those two. Tell me the story about your life when you've made those three choices. That's a pretty darn high quality life, isn't it? Every day looks like contribution instead of hard work. Every day you have blessings and you're grateful and you have the possibility of joy, and you get to spend that with a life partner who has a similar mindset. Whew. pretty good life. All you're choosing. Wow. All right, now go the other way. It's not a bad thing to choose scarcity. It just limits some parts of that. So you said, well, I really can't call myself having chosen abundance. That's okay. Can you still pursue a life pursuing your calling and your life's purpose? Absolutely. Why not? And what if you still made a great choice for a life partner? You're gonna have a great life, really great life. So that's kind of a middle road. Now let's take the far other side. I've chosen, and I know it, I'm going to live a fearful or scarce life. I'm not going to pursue my life's calling, nor do I know or want to find out my life's purpose. And I'll pick whoever seems like the right choice at the time for my life partner. And then I'll pick another one for my second one, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, because you'll probably keep going through them if those are the choices you made. There's no mystery here. They're choices, and people want to make them about circumstances. No. You're living a great life is absolutely a choice, and you can find this with people who are much less fortunate than you. People with physical handicaps, or they're blind, or they grew up in poverty, or in a different part of the country, and you go, wow, they're doing amazing things because they've chosen to. Not because they got lucky. Their luck was, if any, was bad, and they've still chosen to live a great life. That's our challenge today. That's our proposal. Answer 3 simple, profound questions, and then start to design the life connected to the answers to those questions. You got it? It's simple. It's not easy. And I know that the reason you're watching today is because you're all about leading a great life and transforming. Well, I'll tell you what. If this was helpful, like and share it with your friends. They will be happy that they saw it, and they'll thank you for doing so. Until we meet again on Pure Genius, all the best.